Greetings, outsider. You have arrived. It brings me great pleasure that you've come all this way to our sanctuary. Whether you're a curious individual, a concerned survivor, a simple visitor, or a returning follower, all those pure of heart are welcome here. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Ethan Solus, and I am one of the leaders to our sacred and ancient order. We've held back from allowing outsiders to enter our safe haven, in fear that they may push the blame on us for the world we live in and, potentially, destroy us. But the fact that you are here at this moment, you are a very trusted individual, and we are more than willing to give you the truth about what became of our world. You may think you know the whole story, but that is not even a tenth of everything you've been told by your eviscerated governments. There is more than meets all your senses, and it all begins with the unknown phenomena of time. Time, a mysterious veil of history and possibilities. The paths we all take through its embrace are determined by its sustained progression, and yet all the same, its importance in our lives is far from our field of view, for each path is not only brought to light through the actions of those that came before, but are also structured in such a manner that aligns them parallel with others. The past, present, and future are irrelevant, for our journey represents a short line that begins and ends at any point it wishes, with only one direction laid out before us: forward. And yet, with such a simple concept, it has not only allowed us to observe our way of life across the millennia, but to learn from our experiences and take precaution as we continue to traverse through this simple yet frighteningly broad road. So frightening, in fact, that many wish they could see into the future before a mistake could be made. But such a feat is not possible, no matter how helpful it would have been. Disarray and imbalance has plagued this world for eons, and every mistake made by those that inhabit our world has made that less clear than ever before with each passing day. Now, those mistakes have finally caught us within their grasp, reshaping our world and our people to follow an ideal not explored since the day mankind began to process their own thoughts. Kill or be killed. Once a domain that prospered with hope and enlightened by opportunity, now a treacherous landscape scouring with feral hybrid manifestations of all life we share refuge with on this planet. Such a savage world would not have risen before us had it not been for humanity's ignorance, a fault both ours and no one's. We stood tall as the dominant species, growing our home together in unison with our intellect and strength as each century's dawn shined over the horizon. At least, that's what many amongst the general populace had hoped, if not believed. While there were good intentions lying within most souls, others had their own selfish agendas that paved way for the bleak hellscape we endure, for their actions brought upon our home resulted in consequences that strayed us further from our salvation. The atmosphere heavily deteriorating, wildlife caught in conundrums out of their control, and illnesses spreading far and wide. While many saw these as the worst of it, they merely served as warning signs for a far more dreadful outcome. With the Earth's environment compromised, a chemical agent arose from the planet's core, seeping through plant life across the globe and changing the very oxygen that we breathe. Miasm F-22. This very chemical has been eating away at our minds, slowly decaying our mentalities into a more primitive state. This would go unnoticed for centuries, with the blame being pushed onto simple undertakings, such as the growing innovation of technology. By the time this phenomena was finally discovered, it was already too late. families attacking one another, chaos amongst the crowds, and little to no way of containing the situation. Even government officials were not safe from the effects, no matter how much treatment they were given, if any. And just when the strong-willed thought the catastrophe couldn't be any worse, they were met with blood-hungry snarls. Within seconds, crowds of people were eviscerated by beasts not unlike unordinary monstrosities formed in myth. They resembled wildlife predators, yet sustained a form that seemed humanoid in structure. These were the remains of those consumed by the chemical agent's effects, not only reducing their mental capacity, but modifying their DNA to swiftly mutate through the blood of their prey. With unmatchable agility, unspeakable strength, and abilities formed from their environments, even armed forces couldn't withstand the colossal rampage of these beasts. While many were fortunate enough to be spared any suffering through atomic explosions in various countries, others, with barely any protection, resources, and hope, were left struggling to survive this desolate shell of our former home. No plant life to provide clean oxygen, food sources potentially infested with F-22, and beasts born within their own people. There was no denying it. We were guilty, and this was our punishment. But through guilt, there is always an opportunity to make things right. We are the Scarlet Combine, an ancient order that has strived to keep our way of life untethered by forces that wish to take control of the paths laid before us. For centuries, our efforts lay dormant in the realm of silence, for no everyday man or woman should be burdened with the knowledge we bear. It has cost us, however, for with our silence, the actions they have witnessed across the millennia have been seen as heresy. Ancient Egypt, executed for not following the same gods as them. The colonial era of America, burned at the stake for accusations of witchcraft. And in today's day and age, we've been labeled as vigilantes, terrorists, and a threat to worldwide security. An ironic position, for we have fought, led, and died to keep the balance at bay, even through extreme measures that many would consider unnatural. But for the betterment of our evolution and growth, each risk we've taken have all been worthwhile. And now, we stand proud and tall to protect our way of life once more, with no guarantee of success, and no hope that the rising light of dawn will shine on our world again. We will not falter until we've reached the end of our path.